There's a rule in personal finance that almost nobody talks about, but once you understand it, everything changes. It's called the $100,000 rule, and it's the hidden inflection point where wealth building transforms from linear grinding to exponential acceleration. Here's what it means. Getting from zero to $100,000 is brutally hard and feels impossibly slow. But once you hit $100,000, going from $100,000 to $200,000 happens shockingly fast, often in half the time or less. Then $200,000 to $300,000 happens even faster. This isn't luck or income growth. It's math, compounding, and momentum converging into a wealth-building machine that runs on autopilot. I'm Kyle, and today I'm exposing why $100,000 is the most critical milestone in your financial life, what actually happens when you cross it, and the exact strategies to reach it as fast as possible. If you're anywhere below $100,000, this video will reframe your entire wealth-building journey. Stay until the end, because understanding this rule is the difference between grinding forever and building real wealth. Let's break it down. The $100,000 rule is simple but profound. The first $100,000 is the hardest money you'll ever save, and everything after that gets exponentially easier. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's partner, famously said the first $100,000 is a grind, but you have to do it. There's no shortcut. Why is this true? Because when you're building from zero, you're fighting against yourself. You have no momentum, no compound interest working for you, no psychological proof that wealth building works, and every dollar saved feels like a sacrifice with no visible payoff. You're building the machine from scratch, and it's slow, frustrating, and exhausting. Most people quit during this phase because they can't see the exponential curve waiting on the other side. But once you hit $100,000, the game changes completely. Compound interest becomes a significant force. Your money starts making money. Your confidence skyrockets because you've proven you can do hard things. And the systems you built to get to $100,000 are now optimized, automated, and running efficiently. Let's talk about why compound interest doesn't feel real until $100,000. If you have $10,000 invested earning 8% annually, you make $800 that year. That's nice, but it's not life-changing. You're still doing all the heavy lifting through earned income and savings discipline. But if you have $100,000 earning 8%, you make $8,000 that year without lifting a finger. That's a month's salary for many people generated passively. At $200,000, it's $16,000 a year. At $500,000, it's $40,000, a full salary from investments alone. The math is the same at every level, but the impact is exponentially different. Below $100,000, compound interest feels theoretical. Above $100,000, it's tangible, material, and game-changing. This is why financial experts obsess over this threshold. It's where your money transitions from being a small helper to being a wealth-building partner that works as hard as you do. If you're below $100,000, your job is to get there as fast as possible. Every year you delay costs you exponential growth on the back end. The psychological shift at $100,000 is just as powerful as the financial one. When you're at $5,000 or $20,000, it's easy to feel like you're not making progress. The goal feels distant and setbacks feel devastating. But when you hit $100,000, something clicks. You've proven to yourself that you can build wealth. You're no longer hoping it's possible. You know it is because you've done it. That confidence changes how you think, decide, and act. You take smarter risks. You invest more aggressively because you've seen returns compound. You stop doubting your ability to build wealth and start asking, how fast can I double this? The person who reaches $100,000 is fundamentally different from the person who started at zero. You've built discipline, delayed gratification, optimized income and expenses, and survived the grind. Those skills don't disappear, they accelerate. The same intensity that got you to $100,000 will carry you to $200,000, $500,000, and beyond. This is why the first $100,000 is the filter. Most people never cross it, which is why most people never build real wealth. Here's the brutal timeline reality. If you save $10,000 a year, it takes 10 years to hit $100,000, ignoring returns for simplicity.
That's a decade of grinding with slow visible progress. But once you hit $100,000 and maintain the same $10,000 a year savings with 8% returns, you hit $200,000 in just 7 years, not 10. Why? Because your $100,000 is generating $8,000 in year 1, $8,640 in year 2, and growing. You're not saving alone anymore. Your money's saving with you. From $200,000 to $300,000 takes even less time, maybe 5 years. The acceleration compounds on itself. This is why people who hit $100,000 often become millionaires within 10 to 15 years, while people who never cross $100,000 stay broke for life. The vast majority of wealth building happens after $100,000, but you can't access that phase without crossing the threshold. Understanding this changes your mindset from "I'll never get there" to "I just need to survive the grind to $100,000, then physics takes over." So how do you reach $100,000 as fast as possible? The formula is simple but not easy. Maximize income, minimize expenses, invest aggressively, and stay relentlessly disciplined for 5 to 7 years. Let's break that down. Maximizing income means pushing your earning potential hard. Negotiate raises, switch jobs for 20 to 30% bumps, develop high-income skills, launch side hustles, or build scalable income streams. If you're earning $50,000, getting to $70,000 or $80,000 should be a non-negotiable within 2 years. Minimizing expenses means living well below your means, even as income grows. If you're earning $70,000, live on $45,000 and save the $25,000 difference. That gets you to $100,000 in 4 years, not 10. Most people fail here because they inflate lifestyle with every raise. Investing aggressively means putting every dollar you save into assets that grow, index funds, real estate, or businesses. Cash sitting idle is dying to inflation. Invested capital is compounding toward freedom.
The savings rate is everything in this phase. If you can save 30 to 40% of your income, you're on track to hit $100,000 in 5 to 7 years, depending on starting point. If you save 50%, you can do it in 3 to 5 years. If you save 60 to 70%, which sounds extreme but is doable for highly motivated people living minimally, you can hit it in 2 to 3 years. The math is unforgiving. Your savings rate determines your timeline, and your timeline determines when you access exponential growth. This is why people who treat the journey to $100,000 like a war, temporary, intense, all-consuming, build wealth faster than people who approach it casually. You don't have to live like this forever, but if you can endure 3 to 5 years of aggressive discipline, you unlock decades of compounding that most people never experience. The trade-off is wildly in your favor, but most people don't make it because they prioritize comfort now over freedom later. Let's talk about what accelerates the journey. First, windfalls, bonuses, tax refunds, inheritances, side hustle surges. Every windfall that goes 100% to your $100,000 goal cuts months off the timeline. Second, income increases that don't trigger lifestyle inflation. If you get a $10,000 raise and bank all of it, you've just added a year of savings in one move. Third, avoiding major financial mistakes. Don't go into consumer debt. Don't finance depreciating assets. Don't make emotional purchases that set you back months. Fourth, investing as you save. If you're saving $20,000 a year and investing it at 8%, compounding adds thousands in growth that accelerate the final stretch. Fifth, staying in the game. The only way to fail is to quit. If you save $15,000 one year, $10,000 the next because life happened, and $18,000 the year after, you're still progressing. Consistency over perfection. The timeline might stretch from 5 years to 7, but you'll still cross $100,000, and that's the only finish line that matters. Common mistakes that delay $100,000. First, not starting. People wait for the right time that never comes. Start now, even with $100 a month. Second, lifestyle inflation. Every raise should go to savings, not spending. Third, keeping money in cash instead of investing. You're losing 3% a year to inflation while missing 8 to 10% returns. Fourth, giving up after setbacks. Unexpected expenses will happen. Don't reset mentally. Fifth, comparing yourself to people ahead of you instead of celebrating your own progress. Someone at $80,000 isn't almost there. They're closer than anyone at zero. Sixth, not tracking net worth obsessively. What gets measured gets managed. Check your progress monthly and adjust. Seventh, underestimating the power of side income. Adding $500 a month from freelancing is $6,000 a year, which is 1 to 2 years of progress, depending on your savings rate. Eighth, thinking $100,000 is the destination. It's not. It's the launch pad. The real wealth building starts after you cross it. Here's what happens after $100,000 that most people don't realize. First, your confidence allows you to invest more aggressively because you've seen it work. Second, compound interest becomes emotionally real. You watch your net worth grow by thousands per month without additional contributions. Third, opportunities appear that weren't visible before. People with capital see deals, investments, and businesses that broke people never encounter. Fourth, financial stress evaporates. You're no longer worried about emergencies or job loss because you have a fortress. Fifth, your focus shifts from accumulation to optimization. How do I deploy this capital most effectively? Sixth, the next $100,000 happens faster than you expect, often in 3 to 5 years instead of 7 to 10. Seventh, you start thinking in terms of financial independence, not just survival. The game changes from how do I pay bills to how do I build freedom. That shift is priceless, and it only happens after $100,000. If you're starting from zero or you're partway there, here's your action plan. First, calculate your current net worth and set $100,000 as your non-negotiable target. Second, reverse engineer your timeline. If you want to hit it in 5 years, you need to save $20,000 a year. Break that into monthly targets. Third, audit your income and expenses ruthlessly. Can you earn more? Can you spend less? Attack both. Fourth, automate savings immediately so you don't rely on willpower. Fifth, invest every dollar you save into diversified assets. Index funds are the simplest path. Sixth, track progress monthly and celebrate every $10,000 milestone. Seventh, refuse lifestyle inflation for the entire journey. Eighth, stay relentlessly focused and remind yourself daily that crossing $100,000 unlocks exponential growth. Ninth, find accountability. Partner with someone on the same journey or join a community of wealth builders. 10th, commit to finishing no matter how long it takes. The only failure is quitting. At the core, a $100,000 rule is about understanding that wealth building isn't linear. It's exponential, but only after you cross the threshold. The first $100,000 is the price of entry to the exponential phase. It's the hardest, slowest, most frustrating part of the journey, and that's exactly why most people never cross it. But if you do, if you endure the grind, stay disciplined, and refuse to quit, you unlock a compounding machine that builds wealth faster than you ever thought possible. Start today. Set the $100,000 goal, calculate your timeline, automate your first savings transfer, and commit to finishing no matter what. Track it obsessively, celebrate progress, and remember, every dollar you save before $100,000 is buying you exponential growth after. Tell me in the comments where you are on the journey to $100,000 and let's get you there. This is the rule nobody told you, but now you know. Let's build.